A group of archaeologists based in southern Iraq made the shocking announcement of a remarkable discovery that could reveal the secrets of one of humanity's most significant ancient civilizations. Because it seems too good to be true, this discovery is one that many experts cannot take at face value. However, it is a genuine temple from the final Sumerian city of Gosu. Experts on Earth Day say that a 4,500-year-old Iraqi palace may have the key to a lost civilization. The person in charge of the excavation that led to the discovery of the palace was Dr. Sebastian. However, despite this man's impressive academic and professional credentials, it was difficult for many of his peers to take his claims seriously. Even nasty accusations were leveled at him, suggesting that he had lied about everything. Dr. Rate attended numerous conferences worldwide following the discovery. He tried to persuade his fellow experts of his findings, but he was initially simply not believed. Based on what he told The Guardian, "I heard, 'Oh no, you're making it up,' from everyone. Your time is being wasted. You are wasting money from the British Museum and the UK government. They were telling me that." It appears that many experts were hesitant to believe that the Sumerians constructed this palace in Gosu. After all, these individuals belonged to one of humanity's earliest civilizations. It was possible for a palace built roughly 4,500 years ago to survive this long, and perhaps it can reveal more about the enigmatic builders. In and of itself, the palace is significant to historians and archaeologists. However, there is also something extremely significant in the building. There were 200+ tablets written in cuneiform on the inside. It would appear that these slabs contained administration-related records. They can assist specialists in comprehending the specific functions of this civilization. It is always a fascinating and essential endeavor to learn about ancient civilizations, but the Sumerians are a particularly significant example. These were the pioneers of numerous technologies and concepts that are still fundamental to modern life. For millennia, the innovations of the Sumerians have had unimaginably profound effects on the world. As the name suggests, the Sumerians lived in the Sumer region, which was part of Mesopotamia as a whole. It was situated between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers in the Fertile Crescent. Before being eventually overrun by the Babylonians, the Sumerians claimed this region as their own for a little less than 2,000 years. The Sumer people were pushing the boundaries even when they were just starting. The Ubaid were the first people to arrive in the area, arriving sometime between 4,500 and 4,000 BC. The Ubaid people were also carpenters, weavers, and potters. They also created novel farming methods. The people we now refer to as the Sumerians came to dominate the region around 3000 BC. Lagash, Nippur, and Uruk are examples of the city-states that made up their civilization and were scattered throughout the territory. The population of this final one ranges from 40,000 to 80,000. With so many minds concentrated in such tightly packed urban spaces for the first time, it shouldn't come as a surprise that so many innovations were made in Sumer, which would have been one of the largest cities on the planet at the time. Codes of law, essential mathematical structures, and a plethora of new technologies all appear to have originated in this location, which is truly the place where the world we know today began to emerge. Humanity would not have been able to effectively manage areas and keep records without writing. And while that is undeniably extremely significant, it is also a rather practical approach to writing. Literature, which is so crucial to our species, is completely ignored. The Epic of Gilgamesh, which consists of 5 pieces of Sumerian poetry and is regarded as the oldest known piece of literature, set the stage for the style. The Sumerians were also skilled chemists, creating medicines that were often based on mysticism, but could also be very sophisticated. They had a good understanding of how the body works. Additionally, they created some useful surgical instruments. Even before beer was invented, they were among the first. Though more concrete evidence of their society is difficult to come by, Sumerian ideas are at the heart of civilization today. Dr. Ray was there because archaeologists find their area which is now within the modern Iraqi borders. Fascinating. Dr. Ray is a member of the Grocery Project, which aims to learn more about the ancient city and, ultimately, protect it. He wanted to know more about Gosu. By modern standards, previous investigations of the site from decades ago had not been up to par. Therefore, in addition to carrying out brand new excavations, the collaborative project is returning to earlier ones to locate the Sumerian city of girls, which has been a topic of speculation for some time. It was discovered 140 years ago. Experts from France played a significant role in the initial rounds of investigations, with Ernest de Charzec, an archaeologist, leading the 1880s excavation there. The so-called Stele of the Vultures was one of the earliest discoveries made during these excavations. Others followed in subsequent decades. This monument, which was built between 2600 BCE and 2350 BC, commemorates the victory of a Sumerian city-state known as Lagash over its neighbor and foe Yama through battle. The stele, the oldest known war monument, has battle scenes and religious significance etched into its limestone face. The monument is made up of 7 separate pieces, but it is believed that they were all a single unit. Initially, they're shown at the Louvre Historical Center in Paris, France nowadays, which is quite far from home. During the 1920s and 1930s, French archaeologists discovered another interesting brick structure that stood about 11 feet tall, 130 feet long, and 33 feet wide. At first, no one knew what it was, with various people suggesting that it could have been a temple, a dam, or a water regulator. It wasn't clear, which is why the structure became known as a mysterious construction. It took many decades to solve the mystery, and Dr. Ray was the one who did it. He discovered that a canal once cut through the landscape here after closely examining the structure's imagery from bird's eye and conducting his research. That made it clear that the mysterious structure was the foundation of a bridge over the water. Even though a bridge is a useful structure, it seems clear that this one had some religious meaning. The etchings on some of the stones used in its construction appear to be references to the urn and Josu, who was the son of a king named Buta and would eventually succeed to father. The carvings on their faces depict a deity known as Ninjasu's father. Beyond the scene's symbolic significance, religion also had a practical connection to the bridge. Since it marked the entrance to the city's sacred district, it seems like pilgrims would have used it. During the various religious celebrations that occurred throughout the year, people would have crossed it. Dr. Ray claims that the intricate nature of the bridge was explained by its connection to religion. He explained to the publication Archaeology of the Archaeological Institute of America that the bridge was so massive because it had the same significance as the temple, a city gate, or a city wall. It was designed to stand out in the landscape and was constructed by a king. The bridge is the oldest known example on the planet, having been built around 5,000 years ago. As a result, experts are so determined to preserve it because it is such a priceless possession. A monument of this kind must be safeguarded because it tells such an important story about early human civilization. At the end of March 2020, reports began to surface about another recent discovery at the girls' archaeological site. This time, everything was focused on a location that appeared to have been used for religious services in the past. Again, the jurists and deities appear to have been crucial. Given his significance to the Grocery Project, it may not have come as a surprise that Dr. Ray was once again at the center of this work. Tina Greenfield, a geologist, also played a significant role in this, as you are aware. She was given the task of presenting the team's findings to her colleagues at the end of 2019, as the team had found a lot of artifacts in this area. Numerous animal bones and a lot of ceramics, including bowls, cups, jars, and other vessels, were discovered. All of these things were discovered close to a pit that was known as a visa and would have been used for rituals. A bronze figurine was one of the other impressive finds made during this excavation. This artifact had eyes made of shells and had the unusual shape of a duck. This item may have been associated with the goddess Mange, a deity associated with water birds and marshy areas. Gosu Dr. Ray and Dr. Greenfield believed that all the cups they had found were most likely taken at a religious feast before being thrown down the pit in a rite. Other finds were linked to the incident. All of the bones probably came from animals that were either eaten for the feast or sacrificed. There were cows, goats, sheep, deer, pig, bird, gazelle, and fish bones on the site. The ash layer that covered the site was another interesting feature. This could have come from a large fire that was lit for ritual purposes. Somewhere else, 8 vessels loaded up with spent ashes were additionally found. It's idea these things might have been lights in their day. Overall, it must have been a well-lit event whatever was going on here. All of these finds, taken together, pointed to the same conclusion, that this location was home to some kind of religious cult. Drs. Ray and Greenfield shared their thoughts on the excavation site with Live Science in an email. They believe it was once connected to a location where girls gathered for feasts and God-honoring celebrations to celebrate festivals. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing.